According to the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Department, just 1 acre of eastern red cedar trees can suck up as much as 55,000 gallons of water from the surrounding area. And in drought-prevalent Oklahoma, that's a problem. Red cedars are everywhere in the Sooner State, and controlling their invasive spread is difficult and expensive. As Steve Shaw found out during a controlled burn in Blaine County. Steve.
Rich, last March, we went up to Dewey County and talked to a farmer of several thousand acres who's been seriously compromised by red cedars. The state legislature recently released $3.2 million that will allow prescribed burn organizations and volunteer firefighters to take more of the fight to the red cedars.
Good to go. So you're going to light. All you do is tip it down, get it to work. We're going to walk along lighting. See that?
2 Wednesdays ago, just outside the small town of Greenfield in Blaine County, volunteer firefighters and prescribed burn groups from across the state.
Also, when you are operating it, grab it down here on the handle.
Took vacation or comp days from their day jobs to get an eye-burning tutorial from Oklahoma State University fire expert John Weir on the proper way to burn on purpose.
Let's go right on the line because of the smoke.
Okay, let's do that. All right, who's going to take your first torch?
We got first torch
All right,
here.
Richard, you going with them?
Weir says these prescribed and controlled burns are necessary tools to manage the red cedar infestation that State Conservation Commission Executive Director Trey Lamb says is out of control.
The fuel from those cedars is just extreme. And so these rural, mostly volunteer fire departments have to deal with these cedar trees. So when a fire gets going, it's not just grass, but it's really fueled by the oil and the dry material in these cedar trees.
This satellite map shows how the red cedar problem progressed in the lower Midwest between the year 2000 and 2018. Now 5 years later, it's gotten worse. Cedar trees are not just wildfires waiting to happen. Lamb says they're ferocious drinkers of any nearby water supply. That's a big reason what's known as the Terry Peach Northern Canadian Watershed Restoration Act project is being funded by that $3.2 million jolt from the state legislature. The Conservation Commission used that money to give $10,000 to $15,000 to each of the 25 volunteer fire departments involved in the project for equipment and training.
Yeah, yeah, that's all right. As long as it does that, I'm good. They need to send that other torch back down here.
State Representative Mike Dobrinsky says the project is named after Terry Peach because the former state agriculture commissioner warned about the cedar tree problem 3 decades ago.
This has actually become detrimental to wildlife in the area. This is great. There's a lot of great native grasslands out in the western part of the state, good for livestock grazing and wildlife and hunting and all that. But these have gotten so prolific and so dense in some areas that a lot of the wildlife are avoiding those areas, and it's not good for hunters, for our cattle producers, and all of these agricultural groups have come together.
All right, let's go this way.
Okay.
Stay out about that wide, okay?
And like the North Canadian River that we're working on here with this Terry Peach Watershed Restoration Project, it supplies water down to Lake Overholser and Lake Hefner for Oklahoma City. Well, by the time the water runs from the Panhandle all the way to Oklahoma City, it should be enough for Oklahoma City to have plenty of drinking water. But the cedars soak up all that water, not just right in the river banks and bed itself, but all across the landscape, so that only a trickle of the amount of water that should be getting to Oklahoma City is actually getting there.
Wesley Mongold is vice president of the Major County Prescribed Burn Association in Fairview.
Right, it's all about mitigation, and that's what prescribed burn associations are really there for, is to assist the community in outreach and assistance in helping landowners understand that fire is actually a good thing if it's done right.
Do you think these prescribed burns can make a dent in this red cedar problem?
I do.
Chad Shine is the longtime chief of Greenfield's Volunteer Fire Department. He says they have to get landowners more comfortable with controlled burns.
And there's pictures from 100 years ago where this land was beautiful with just grass. And I've got one hanging in my house where it's just 6 cowboys with a wagon and a one bottom plow and a team of horses and buckets of water doing a prescribed fire on the prairie. And it's the best tool out there. It's the cheapest tool out there. It's the best way to manage your grass. Yeah, and that's what we're trying to show. The good after it's over and the benefits after it's over, how good it is for the land, how good it is for the landowner, how good it is for the public. And it goes back to allergies too. You get rid of the cedars, everybody's not going to have near the allergies that they have through the wintertime.
All right, Chief.
A cedar tree don't provide you no shade. Cattle don't like them.
But they make for good Christmas trees.
They make for a good Christmas tree, but that's about all they make for. And spreading fire when you don't want fire spreaded.
And man, are they loaded with fuel?
They are. They're loaded with fuel. They're a good place for the wild hogs to hide, and that's another issue that we got to deal with down the road one of these days. But you can't see through them, can't see around them, you can't get through them.
And they clog up everything.
They do.
Ironically, 90 years ago during the Great Depression, the U.S. government planted red cedar trees all over the Oklahoma prairie. The thought then was they would serve as great windbreaks and would fight erosion. Rich?
Very interesting. Thank you.